Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary. This time Game 6 in the best of 7 series between Liquid Tyler, aka NonY, spawning as the blue Protoss, and seleCT, spawning as the red Terran. This game will be on Xel'naga Caverns. This is Game 6 of the best of 7. NonY's currently up 3-2. With one more win, we'll move on to the next round and face Kiwikaki in round 9 of the losers bracket of MLG DC. seleCT needs to win this game to even up the series and force a Game 7. This map was seleCT's choice, so he may be looking to do some drops into NonY's base, multiple angles here, 4 drops, and also a Terran player, if they're able to secure this center here with tanks, bunkers, etc., they can easily work off of 4 bases and kind of control the map. Xel'naga Caverns again has this very large hole in the center, and these 2 paths for attack down the middle, or these longer paths to attack on the left and right. Multiple expansions all over this map, especially for a small 1v1 map. Players have a lot of options for how they want to expand. Not as short of a rush distance as some of the other 1v1 steps of war coming to mind, but if the players choose to do some sort of one base all-in play, as we saw seleCT try a 3 racks one base play on Metalopolis last game, players do have that as an option as well. Looks like we have I think it was a 12 gateway go down for NonY. seleCT just opening up pretty standard supply depot into barracks and getting the gas up as well. Both players sending out scouts. seleCT, the #1 ranked player on the North American server. Blizzard did come out their top 200 pretty much every week now. They update that. And NonY is currently the 12th ranked player in the top 200. So that's the North American Battle.net. MLG is a North American tournament. And these players are in the losers bracket. seleCT was actually knocked into the losers bracket by Liquid Tyler in the winners bracket earlier on. And seleCT has been plowing through the losers bracket, going through Slush, TT1, QXC, LZ Gamer, a ton of big names. Now he meets his nemesis Liquid Tyler here, the person who forced him along that hard journey in the losers bracket. seleCT does need to win this game to force a Game 7, and we'll see how he opens up. Looks like he does have the 1 Marine out there doing a little bit of scouting. He's got both these towers with the Marine and the SCV, establishing early map control, and pushes out this first Reaper, as he has been doing, to try to get a little bit of scouting in his opponent's base. He may send this Reaper out to do some scouting for cheese at first, and then he may make it up into NonY's base and see what sort of builds NonY is going for. NonY, the master of the Phoenix harass, has abandoned Phoenix play for the most part in this series, been going with the 3-gate 1 robotics facility build in most of the games we've seen. May favor the Phoenix harass in the PvZ games and stick to more of a robotics heavy build with the Colossi and Immortals in these PvT games. So we'll see how this game works out. First 2 Stalkers for NonY, just pushing out, trying to push these SCVs back and try to establish a little bit more of the map control. Looks like the Reaper is going right up in the base here, just going to see the 1 gateway, and the Stalker comes out quickly to take it down. He was not able to take down a probe there, though he did get one down all the way to 1 shot left. These 3 Stalkers are going to be able to take down that Reaper, and it looks like NonY has tried to establish a robotics facility off of a proxy pylon down here. So he may be pushing out with some sort of timing attack with an Immortal and Stalkers. The Reaper did not see that robotics facility in the base, and he just saw the 2 gateways. So we'll see whether he does any sort of scouting for proxies or cheese play here. Put myself on busy. As the Stalkers come in, try to take on this small army of seleCT. seleCT is going to be able to push the Stalkers back. NonY is going to lose one of the Stalkers. It looks like the SCV is going to come down and see this robotics facility and begin attacking it. He is trying to push out this Immortal with a Chrono Boost, but I don't believe it's going to be able to come up. He has thrown down a bunker as well to protect against this Immortal. The Immortal is cancelled, and it looks like NonY is just going to lose this robotics facility and the pylon. Let's see if he throws anything up in his main. Looks like a 3rd gateway is coming up, and NonY decides that this is time to expand. So the expansion almost complete for seleCT as well. Both players going for a relatively early expand now that NonY's plan for that proxy robotics facility has been foiled by the great scouting of seleCT. This is a pretty common area for proxy pylons and proxy play. NonY did not establish that pylon very early in the game, so the first round of scouting may not have seen it, but constantly scouting to make sure there's no cheese going on. NonY could have won the game right there if he had pushed out that Immortal and supported with a few Stalkers. The Immortal's great against these Marauders, going to 3-shot him without any upgrades reach. And now we have a force moving out for seleCT here. Throws the scan down. NonY should be expecting it here, and is warping in more units. So NonY just has his third warp gate coming up, and that Nexus, which is about to come up as well. No robotics facility yet. He's not moved on to any sort of other tech. We have Stim about to finish for seleCT, so he might have pulled back that initial attack that we saw him moving out with to wait for this Stim research, and he's just going to keep supporting this army with more and more reinforcements, 2 Marines and a Marauder coming out. NonY is going to have the opportunity to warp in more units now. If you look at the beautiful concave that he's positioned himself in, if seleCT attacks from either of these 2 angles, NonY is going to be able to move quickly into position with these Stalkers and Sentries, get good force fields up, and have every single Stalker firing right from the start of the battle. A lot of times you'll see players with their Stalkers bunched up, and the ones in the back are not able to fire right away. So doing a good job spreading these units out. Do have a bunker down for any sort of attack from NonY. You can hop into the bunker very quickly for defense. Looks like seleCT just going off 2 gas at the moment. Again, the Marine Marauder army not very gas heavy. Looks like we are seeing combat shields and a factory going down for seleCT, so seleCT will get up that starport and start pushing out medevacs for this Marine Marauder ball. He has been favoring Vikings early on. Looks like we're just now finally getting a 4th gateway up, as well as another few pylons here for NonY. So NonY is not going for any sort of higher tech. He did abandon that robotics facility off the start, and now he may be going for mostly gateway units, no upgrades on these units, so he may just be relying on trying to out-macro with these basic units. But once the medevacs and Vikings perhaps come up for seleCT here, he's going to be at a disadvantage, as this army with upgrades, Stim, etc. will be very powerful. Combat shield's about to finish, so seleCT may be waiting for those before he pushes out here. Had the starport underway as well as a reactor off of that factory, so we'll immediately land the starport on that reactor and start pushing out medevacs 2 at a time. If you look at the income tab for both players, 1600 to 1100, seleCT does have the advantage in the mules. So we have map control here for seleCT on this 1 tower. NonY is pushing out with this small force. Actually, it's a rather sizable gateway force here. Multiple Zealots in front, Sentries in the back, a ton of Sentries, 8 in all. He's going to be able to use force fields quite well here. He's going to try to put these Zealots into position in the front and have all these Stalkers in the back being able to fire immediately. Throwing down a forward pylon here and reinforcing with the army tab, 2900 to 2500. Here comes the attack with the Guardian Shields being thrown up, going to reduce the damage by quite a bit. So we have this force fields going down, going to separate the army. He needs to back up a little bit so these units in the back cannot attack those Zealots. He's taking out most of the frontward units, and this bunker is about to go down. Just the few Marines in there. He's throwing down even more force fields, going to separate this army. These Marines and Marauders are going to have to come back here, not fight with these force fields up. seleCT needs to warp in more units. He's going to do that and reinforce his army here. He's being attacked from a few angles, from high and low ground. Now SCV is going to come off, try to push back this group. Another Stim going off for seleCT. He's going to try to pick off these Stalkers. More Zealots coming in and a few Stalkers coming in as the reinforcements from this pylon. It looks like seleCT is going to be able to push back these Stalkers, and now we have a few medevacs coming in, going to be able to heal up these Marauders as they have Stim multiple times to push off this attack. Stim wears off here, and now NonY is going to have to retreat with these Stalkers, warp in more units here, now working off 5 gates, no higher tech, and just working off these gateways. 0-0-0 across the board. If he's going to go for gateway units, like to see him get a few upgrades here. They would translate into robotics facility units as well. So I'd like to see him throw down a forge. Looks like he's just getting up these 2 gas off of his expansion now, pumping out more drones. And we do have more units that were warped in here. They are going to be able to push away this attack, perhaps, if he can get these Zealots in doing damage against these Marines and Marauders. The Stalkers of Liquid Tyler are being warped in. A few more here. the Zealots are going to tank most of this damage and try to push this force back. A few stims too many perhaps for these units, and they're going to have to retreat. Medevacs all the way out of energy, and these Stalkers are going to be able to pick off these units. Another few Medevacs come in with more energy, and another stim from these units. They're going to perhaps try to focus down. These Stalkers are doing a great job with these Medevacs. Just these few Marauders were able to take down these Stalkers. Big victory for Select, and now he's going to have to retreat as a fresh new set of Warp Gate cooldowns has come off. 5 more units. Looks like we are focusing down these Zealots, and just tons of constant pressure from Select here. He's going to focus down these units. NonY really has to get all these units together here. Each wave of reinforcements is being taken down by this small group with these Medevacs for support. Select is moving in here, again keeping up this pressure. Warp Gates are on cooldown. NonY does not have enough unit producing structures. Just these 5 Warp Gates, as they warp in one at a time, are going to be focused down by Select. Probes coming off, trying to push away these Marines and Marauders, give these Stalkers and Zealots a chance to warp in, and Liquid Tyler NonY does have to GG here, as he's just not able to stand up to the constant pressure of Select. The second Select got that stim, got the shields researched for his Marines, and those Medevacs he was able to push back after he fended off NonY's strong 5-gate attack. NonY was not able to recover after losing that proxy robotics facility. Liquid Tyler is just going off these 5 gates, and Select was able to scout that proxy and turn the tide. Both players off of 2 bases here. Often see a 3rd base established in this game. It looks like Select was about to do that as he was pushing his advantage up here, but NonY just has to GG, as he was just warping in 5 units at a time. They're easily taken down by these Marauders. Units take 5 seconds to warp in. 2 or 3 of them were dead before they even warped in, and he was just not able to fend off Select. So Select evens this series, forces a Game 7. Pretty epic series between these 2 players. We'll move on to Game 7 now, and I'll see you there.